the one thing I'm good at.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Makes sense. Makes sense. All right. And when did you start playing Overwatch seriously?
Seriously, probably like 2018.
Okay.
I started as like a Silver Lucio main. So it's been a slow and arduous climb.
And now you're Master's Tank. I'm looking at your form here. Oh
Yes.
my goodness! Like how the turns have tabled.
Yeah,
What prompted that transition?
queue times.
I love it. And you're stuck now too, right? Do you like tank
Well,
now?
that's the issue. When Overwatch 2 came out, tank times were the longest, and I was like, oh no, I'm gonna have to learn support.
You can't escape forever, always on top of you. That's unfortunate. Okay. Well, so do you like where you're at now? Is this where you want to be?
In terms of tank, yes, I
Yeah.
enjoy tank the most.
Okay. What about tank? I mean, we know why you started, but what made you stick with tank? And I'm also curious about your thoughts on Overwatch 2 as well.
You get to control the tempo a lot more instead of being beholden to your teammates to do things. A lot of the time, you're the one to like initiate, and you decide when to go and when not to go. Which just kind of gels more with me. Instead of, for example, if I'm playing like Tracer, on the off chance I've got to wait for like my monkey on my ball to go in and then
Makes
follow
sense.
up on that.
Makes sense. Okay, fair enough. And how are you enjoying the heroes that you play? Because obviously it's quite different even in Overwatch 2.
Yeah, so I've mostly stuck to the main tanks in Overwatch 2 with that monkey Ryan, so they don't play too dissimilarly. You've just got a lot less support from like an off tank.
And your juicy right click as well with Winston.
Yeah, I forget I have it so much. I play entire games and never use it.
Oh no. Okay. It's so much fun though. It's such a nice little thing. Okay. Makes sense. And then I guess in terms of ranks, where has your like ranked spectrum been? What are all the ranks that you've been kind of playing through?
I started playing seriously when I was in silver, and I have slowly worked way through them all. I guess is that the kind of question you're asking?
Yeah, sure. What ranks did you hit even in Overwatch 1?
Oh, Overwatch 1, I had the most sad thing. I peaked at 3968.
Oh no.
Big sad.
Oh, that's horrible. I'm so sorry to hear that. Were you able to like, well, I guess now you're still masters, so we haven't hit GM yet.
No, yeah, I peaked there, and then I went down to back like 3700, and I took a break for a while because that was infuriating. And
Ouch.
then
Ouch.
back into Overwatch 2, and then slowly climbing back up, and now I'm like Masters 3, I think.
Oh, okay. Well, at least we're getting there. Okay, so in terms of your goals, I'm looking through your form here. It says Grandmaster, long-term, be a consistent Grandmaster level player. What is it about Grandmaster besides just the fact that it's Grandmaster that appeals to you? Like what's the long-term goal to you? Is it just to be a good player, just enjoy where I'm at, whatever, or is there something like bigger beyond that? If we go really
No,
deep?
there's no desire to go like semi-pro or pro or anything like that. It's just to be sort of like to reinforce that self-feeling of, okay, I am in fact a good Overwatch player. I am good at this thing, and I have the rank icon to prove it.
Got it. Okay, makes sense. And you want to do it with tank, I assume.
Yes.
Okay.
Otherwise, it would be a lot longer.
Yeah, makes sense. Okay, cool. All right, so what do you hope to get out of the session? 1 or 2 specific areas of improvement I can focus on. Sleep looks good as well. All right. Okay, so I guess break me down right now. What is your training schedule looking like right now? How often do you train? How much do you train? I guess just like what's your ranked schedule right now?
Yeah, so it's mostly like 2-ish ranked games a day in the evening, and then maybe like 3 or 4 on the weekends, like per day.
Okay, makes sense.
I've tried VOD reviewing countless times, but I've never found anything useful to come out of it.
Okay.
I find that I'm just kind of following through the motions of what I would do anyway without thinking too critically about it. And then any mistakes I do make are mega apparent in the moment anyway. I jump in without bubble, for example. It's like, oh, you
Nothing
shouldn't
to
have done
review.
That was obvious at the time.
Yeah. Okay. So you said around 2 ranked games per day right now?
Yeah, something like.
Okay.
I just got a puppy recently, so it's gone down recently. But
nice.
I think 2-ish a day is like achievable and maintainable.
Yeah. Okay. Makes sense. Makes sense. All right. Let's keep going through here. And then in terms of warm up, do you have a warm up right now? I assume you playing tank, so not as necessary.
No, sometimes I'll jump into like a death match before I play ranked, but I mostly just consider my first ranked game
Yep.
like on a weekend, like a warm up because mechanics, or like the
Yep.
first 5 minutes of the first ranked game.
Okay. Yeah. Fair enough. Fair enough. And then, do you have any days off? Or are you pretty consistent on most days playing those 2 days or 2 games? Excuse me.
Pretty consistent. I'd say maybe like 1 day a week I don't play any.
Okay, that's fair enough. All right, so here's where we're gonna put it all together. So, in my experience, have you heard me talk about deliberate practice before?
Yes.
Okay, so you're already familiar with the concept. I think for you, being honest with you, I think it's getting to Grandmaster with only 2 games per day is going to be very difficult. Now, I don't know what your current work schedule is and you know, the puppy schedule as well, how reasonable it is to be able to like quadruple your playtime. I think that might be a little bit excessive. But what I would encourage you to do is to start by making small adjustments with your playtime. Can we get 3 or can we get 4? And then start with that and see if we're able to get some improvement out of that. Now, what we'll obviously do during the review is give you some areas to focus on so that even if you don't improve your playtime by much, we improve the quality of it by a little bit, right? That's going to be very helpful. However, I do think that even with your Overwatch 1 history, it will be difficult to get much higher than where you are with the current time investment that you have.
Okay.
I might be wrong. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't know that I am wrong. And I think it would be irresponsible of me to at least not give you that heads up.
Oh yeah, that's fair. I think I could, like talk to my partner and say, okay, for the next, few weeks or whatever, I'm going to play more Overwatch, see if I can hit GM and get that checkbox, and then maybe dial it back.
Sure. Yeah, just even if you can't get Grandmaster, just see how the 3 or 4 games a day feels and see if that, like, if you still enjoy the game, you feel like you're making progress, because we want to get like an hour a day, if that's possible, right? That would be like where I would start with, and just see how that goes. I think that would be my first recommendation. And then the second recommendation is obviously what we'll get into in terms of gameplay, which is what you actually need to get better at with the heroes that you're playing. Now, the other thing as well is even delving deeper within that is going to be about efficiency with how you're training as well. Because if you're only playing 2 ranked games a day, you should at most be playing 2 heroes. But in your forum, you say sometimes you flex to Orisa and Sigma.
They're more if they swap like Hog Reaper May. That's just disgusting to play Ryan or Monkey into.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, because ultimately that swap is going to be pretty extremely difficult to play versus, of course. But also, I'm sure as a Monkey player, you do get the Reaper swap quite often. So I think maybe it's a little bit of, unless it's literally they make every single swap in the history of the universe, like you said, the May, Hog, Reaper, and so on, I would try to find a way to adapt your playstyle and treat it like practice, right? And learn how to kind of push through that rather than to like kind of know the nuance, right? Know when it's a lost fight, but also don't be too quick, because obviously if you're spending time in Orisa and Sigma, the goal is to improve the characters that you play, and then the rank will come. But if you're focusing on winning that game, indirectly you're kind of Achilles healing yourself. The one weakness you may have is that swap. I'm not sure if it is, but it's just something to consider. So I hope, if nothing else, whether it's the playtime, the hero pool, I'm raising some questions that hopefully you can go forth and answer on your own time. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't have anything else there. What do you feel is holding you back from improving? You say, I think I often gauge the fight wrong. Even though I know the correct way to play my hero versus the enemy, I struggle to execute it. Okay, can you elaborate on that, please?
So I think it's about, like, for example, on Monkey, it's about routing and not getting poked out. And not feeling like I either sit back and the Zen domes me from across the map and do nothing, or I dive in at half health, my bubble gets busted, and I die.
Right. So about staging, discipline, making sure that you're all in without losing resources early. I mean, of course, that's just fundamentals, right? Okay. So then where do you struggle there? So you know what you're supposed to be doing, but you don't do it. So why?
So I know they've got like imagine I put like Zenana backline. I'm okay, I need to pressure the Zenana. That's my goal as the monkey.
Okay.
But if they're positioned in like a strong position that I struggle to route to, then I'm like, okay, I get stalled out. I don't know.
Right.
I don't want to just jump from choke straight on them and die, but
Right.
also I can't walk out of choke without getting poked
So
out.
all's well until they know what they're doing.
Exactly, yeah.
Right, and then they start to adjust, and then it becomes a skill matchup. If they can take a better position, then you can stage.
Yeah.
And then we got a battle here. Okay.
Yeah,
so,
that's probably the best way to phrase it. Yeah, I'm good at, I'm competent at punishing mistakes, but I can't make, or what's the word, unforced errors.
Right. It's about like being better than the enemy flex support until the point where you're playing up against Grandmaster flex supports who are better than you. But hey, by then we should be Grandmaster, right? So
yeah.
Okay, cool. Do you have a code for me that demonstrates some of those issues?
I think I do actually. I have a monkey code on Colosseo that I was just
You are brave. You are very brave. The first fight in Colosseo, I pray for you.
Yeah. That's because my Ryan win rate's pretty good. It's like 65%, but my monkey's like 40. So I feel like my monkey's what I should focus on.
Seems good. Yeah, especially if you want to be Grandmaster in both monkey and Ryan, of course.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah. All right, shoot it over. Right.
This is the code.
Do you have any other questions about training, mentality, goals, hero pool, anything else that we haven't discussed already?
No, I think so. I think I have a pretty good mental. I don't claim people.
Perfect.
People ask me to swap. If they ask nicely and I think it's a good swap, I'll swap. If no, I'll be like, no, I don't think that's right.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So I'm seeing. Well, this is Esperanza, and there's a lot of Sigma.
Oh, that's the wrong one. Ignore me.
Very good.
This one.
This one has Dilf Hunter.
He's come for me. He knows.
Jeez. Knows about the puppy, I guess.
Yeah.
All right. Got it. Okay. Let's get this code pulled up here. And this is Master's Tank. This is mostly Winston, you said? Or all Winston?
Yeah. At the very end, my team were like, you're playing Winston into Ramatra and Reaper, please swap. I was like, yes, okay.
Well,
fine,
see, this is where you have to be very careful of your teammates, because I think Winston's actually really good versus Ramatra personally. Because you can just avoid him entirely.
Yeah.
Obviously, his E has uses versus you, like he can pull you down, but that's a very hard thing to do. So
yeah, I do find in the match with Ramatra that, like, if I'm sort of like poking and staging at the beginning of the fight, he will E me and then shift on top of me, and I kind of can't escape without taking a bunch of damage.
True. So it's getting a skill check.
Counters your jump.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a skill check. I think a lot of the ways Ramatra, Reaper, Bastion, a lot of those are skill checks. I don't know if you saw my Winston coaching session with Boger a few weeks ago, but I actually agree with him. I think the biggest counter for Winston is Diva, because it's she does everything that you can do but better, and you can't avoid her.
And she can just chase you around and kill you.
Right. So if you're using your mobility really well, you can avoid most of your counters, depending on the map, of course. But Diva, different story, right?
So I do sometimes play Ryan on Colosseo, and I never know where to position on this first fight.
I think just holding the choke here is probably fine as Ryan most of the time, as long as you have some form of cover. And then if you see the opportunity to push anything, you can. I mean, I hate this map with a burning passion. The first fight, there's just this long nasty choke is just unlike anything that we've ever seen in Overwatch, and that's a bad thing. So yeah. Okay, so I look at their comp, and if you could just put it as simply as you possibly could, what do you want to do as Winston most of the time, even versus any comp? Actually, let's not be specific here.
I want to threaten to kill who I can threaten to kill.
What a great way of putting it. Yes, exactly. If you are able to get onto this Zenyatta or this Hanzo, this Cassidy, this even the Moira, right, and threaten kills, either you get the kill or you force a disproportionate response that then takes resources away from Ramatra or other people, that then allows your team to get space and get kills, right?
Yeah.
So that's it. The question is who, when, and how, right? And obviously we'll see how that goes. I would rather see what happens and dictate from there. But see, this is like a classic example of doing what you didn't want to do, right?
Yeah.
Because obviously the E is rough, right? Like if you jump now, that's not going to work.
If he hadn't E at this point, I would love to go on his back line.
Correct. So without, I mean, this may be just something where we just have to go, hey, if he pushes me here, I need to go quickly. Or maybe I wait till I see E, I back off to the next corner, waste his E, and then jump in from there. Because
so in the match against the Ramatra, be ready for the E, ready to back up and have him waste it, and then go after.
Correct. Either you out-tempo him and just avoid him entirely, or you disengage, right? Because a lot of times he's not going to do a lot of damage to you. He will do decent damage, but he's not going to blow you up, so you won't necessarily need to use bubble. You will take, like, I don't know, 200, 250 damage, duck the corner here, get some healing, and then use your jump from there and bypass him. Because this hurts my soul, right? This bubble does not help. The bubble actually doesn't even do anything because he's punching you through it. So then ultimately this means that right now, even if we got healed now we can't actually go on the targets that we want to go on. So even though we're one, this fight is still losable, right?
Yeah.
And then I was gonna have a Z again. Like, there are worse tanks to trade on, right? If this is like, you know, a Reinhardt or a Roadhog or a D.Va, this would feel a lot worse. But this still is not a good return on investment for your resources.
Yeah.
Like, even now, let's get on backline so that my team can help deal with the Ramatra, because I'm better at distracting backline than I am at doing 1v1ing a Ramatra. And there's the Reaper swap. You know, here's the other thing about Reaper. Okay, let's talk about Reaper, all right? So we talked about playing around Reaper is whenever you can, jumping to locations or targets where the Reaper isn't. That's the number one thing you could do to play with versus Reaper. Avoid Reaper, make him have to chase you down. He's slow. He's going to have to use his TP or Wraith, which exposes him to getting killed and so on, right? Avoid the Reaper. That's the number one thing as Winston. But the other thing is as well is, like, this guy didn't want to play Reaper. This guy wanted to play Hanzo. He rolled out on Hanzo. He died, and now he's coming back as Reaper. Now, kudos to him for trying to counter swap. Like, I'm sure he's probably going to do better as Reaper than he would as Hanzo. But does this guy play Hanzo? Or Reaper? Does this guy main Reaper? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Yeah.
By the fact that you pick a hero, you force any team to play heroes that they did not want to pick on rollout and may not even be very good at overall, that's a win, right? That's a win for you.
Yeah.
So, yes, you could respond to this by swapping Orisa and you know, whatever. But also, there's just a window for you to just outplay these guys and watch them flame each other in chat, because now not only are they not able to counter your counter to their counter, right? Because you're playing around them in a smart way, but they're also playing heroes that they're not even good at.
Yeah.
So don't feel too bad about that. Don't feel too badly about that, I guess.
Yeah.
You know. And then, like, here, so this is like where the staging matters, right? So again, we want to be going in backline. Is now a good time to be going in backline?
Well, no, I should wait for the Ramatra to drop.
Right. Why? Because why? Like, why do you wait?
Because he can't get back on the high ground once he drops.
Right. We could just sit here and wait. Like, at the very least, make these squishies actively try and take aggressive positions to shoot you on card. Right? If they're not doing anything, then you don't need to do anything. And then as soon as they do something, you jump them. Make sense? Problem here is you're giving them somebody to shoot when they're not doing anything anyway. And then now they're doing things, right? You see this? This Cassie's actually dueling people. But where are you?
Yeah, and I've used bubble and jump, and I'm in my own backline.
Correct. Your Junkrat probably dies either way, but this guy should have died for it.
Yeah. Yeah, if I had jumped now, I can jump top right and kill him.
This is really funny, though. You want to watch something funny?
I just thought that.
No way.
Are you going to roll into it? Oh.
No, you can't make this. What is happening, man?
You are right. He did die for it.
He did die. That's right. He did die for it. I knew it all along. Like right here. You need information, obviously. But this guy, no. This guy, no. Now, I mean, maybe if this guy doesn't have Wraith, you can actually beat him. But, like, no. So just avoid him. As quickly as you can. Think about it. Where's that Ana? Where's that Kiriko? Bang. She's out. Honestly, this isn't even a bad trade anymore, right? Right? Because we were able to... If we have Bubble and Nano, you know, I don't mind fighting a Reaper, right?
Yeah.
So then now we go on Ana, and she dies. Eventually. Okay. Here we go, right?
Oh, this is pretty sad. I remember this.
Yeah, mechanics here, there's something, you know? Oh, tragic. But I mean, you're still, the main thing is here that just your Junkrat, like, you started off in a really bad spot, right?
Yeah.
Like, if a Junkrat had just been able to live, I think this fight goes a lot better. I will say as well, the right click is really not great, as you were saying earlier. You need to not forget it exists. So, like, let's kind of look back at this fight here and be, like, looking at it from a right-click perspective.
Yeah.
This should already be charged, right? 50 damage right there. But the problem is look at when you actually charge it. Look at your ammo at the bottom right, 100 out of 100, 100 out of 100. You jump, you start to jump and charge at the same time, but that means by the time you have it charged, it's not fully charged. Do you see that? Yeah. It should be half a second before you jump. Depending on the jump, you should have it ready to go so that you get the full 50 damage.
Here's a question. Is the damage build-up linear?
I believe so. Yes.
Okay, yeah.
I believe it is fully linear, yes. But it will sit at a fully charged state for a second or so before it automatically releases. But but from that first second, from 0 to fully charged, then yes, it is, as far as I know, linear.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so in terms of this fight, it would be not jump up early, wait for the Reinhardt to drop, then try and scout out the Kiriko Ana, and only then go in and commit my resources. Right,
exactly. I think both of the jump on the Kiriko and Ana, I don't think that the right click was necessary, but that initial right click was definitely necessary.
Yeah.
And that's really important. Like it's your new wombo combo, you know. I think especially with like the removal of the armor damage reduction on burst, the stuff like the melee cancel is a little less valuable. So you need to make that right click count. Where's my 1v1? Where's my 1v1? Don't do this. Don't do this. Like because here's the thing is like with Monkey, if you see this on your screen right now, you're like, what on earth do I do? Right?
Yeah.
That's okay. Jump the Kiriko. Oh no, where did she go? Don't do anything. Keep looking. Like, oftentimes when you have a hero that has a 14-second cooldown or 13-second cooldown on your bubble or whatever, nothing is usually better than something.
Yeah.
Because you will keep looking and then you'll go, oh. Right? Whereas
don't feel like, oh, I don't know where the Ana is, I don't know where the Kiriko is. Oh, here's the Ramatra, I'll shoot him.
Right.
Because I'll get sucked into shooting the Ramatra and not then.
Right, and you know what your return on investment is going to be for this, right?
Yeah.
It's just nothing. In fact, all it does is it puts burden on your supports. It's actually less than a positive return on investment. It's actually negative.
Yeah, because he's trading damage better than I am.
And there you go, you die for that. Whereas if we just simply been a little bit more patient, looked a little bit more, we would have seen Ana. Or honestly, like even like find that Kiriko, you know, like you know, it's not the greatest 1v1 in the world, but it's something. Like right here, oh, I just heard her TP, jump on her right now. And if you land on this Kiriko with bubble now, there's a chance that she dies, right?
Yeah.
Not likely, but there's a chance. It has to be better than what we've done there.
Well, I wouldn't be dead at least.
Yeah, right, exactly. So I think like that's the key thing is it's like you're playing a hero which is so strong during those burst windows. Don't waste it on doing nothing, right? Don't waste it on doing. If you were like playing like a Sigma, you don't really have a bad 1v1 matchup, so you might as well just be spamming something, right? But Winston, it's on off, on off, on off, and if you're always on, then you're never on enough to make actual impact.
Yeah.
Like even right now, we're waiting. I wonder if we could be taking this position here. Why would this position matter?
Yeah, I can see, and I don't have to use jump to engage.
Right. You don't have to use the jump to engage, and it just helps you to find the targets that you want to go for, right? That's why high grounds and things like that matter. It's the jump thing, of course, but also just, oh, there's somebody on the right. Okay, we're good, we go. This is good. No. Again, this is like not the worst 1v1 in the world, but it's just not, it's not a positive return on our investment right now. And then
I think I've conditioned myself into Kiriko always gets away.
Right, but that's okay. We don't mind that, right? It's not optimal. We'd probably prefer an Ana because of that. But if you force her Suzu in her TP, she wanted to be here, right? Right?
Yeah.
So now, even if she does cost her TP, it's not just that. She also has to move away and go to a position that she doesn't want to be in anymore.
Yeah.
Right? That's good. That's good.
And again, yeah, I think even if Kiriko was to TP right then and there, don't just turn around and start shooting the Ramatra.
Right,
Okay,
right.
where's the Cass?
Right.
Where's the Ana?
Right. Because you're going to notice something too. What kills you here? Is it the Ramatra? Not really. Like, he doesn't do a ton of damage to you, right? But while we're focusing on Ramatra... Oh. That hero. Do you see that?
Yeah.
That's the problem. It's again, it's like that opportunity cost. By focusing on Ramatra, who are we not thinking about? You saw that earlier, the previous fight, because of the Reaper that just crept up on us, and now it's happening again here. There's Cass. Uh-oh, we see a red bar top. We go. This is fine. I mean, you weren't going for the Ramatra necessarily. It was just you jumped. The TP was forced. The Suzu was forced. Like, this is the only thing here is obviously like right now. Surely there has to be somebody else to jump, right? Take a quick second.
I think at this point I'd seen that the Reaper killed 3 in my back line, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna stall.
So trade.
Cart.
I guess stalling cart's okay. Yeah, I think it's okay. I don't know.
Because I've not got the checkpoint yet.
You know what? Okay, whatever. I fair enough then. You've made your point.
Because he takes his little smoke break, doesn't he?
True. Yeah, he does. Reaper, unfortunate.
I didn't know that door was there. Go back a second.
You didn't know the door was up there?
So if you go top left, I thought that was just a room.
No. It wraps around down through your spawn.
Okay. I was wondering how the Reaper killed. He killed someone here. Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
But I checked top left. He wasn't there.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, it must have been someone must have not seen.
Yeah. Well, welcome to Coliseum. There's so many parts in the map that are just worthless. I mean, think about the entire name of the map. Is like this little and like you don't even fight. Like it's this outside. Like it's a joke. I hate this map so much. Where did this guy come from? Okay, now... Oh! He juked you.
He juked me.
Oh, no. Yeah, it's unfortunate. Now, here, this is a really interesting question, because this is, like, one of the Winston fundamentals, right? Assassinate backline, assassinate backline, assassinate backline. Why are we jumping the Ramatra now? Now, you mess up your bubble. Right, the bubble doesn't like place it where we want to. But why are we jumping the Ramatra right now?
I think I'm like 50 HP, so I'm jumping back to get heals.
Sure. It also kind of looks like as well, like you're trying to kind of isolate him a little bit. Like obviously you're low. That's the thing here. Trying to isolate him a little bit. And sometimes that can work. Ooh. Clutch. Don't die. Oh, he's gonna shoot you. I just knew it. Right idea, right? Right away from the Reaper.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. So, not all bad. Some good, obviously. Otherwise, you wouldn't be Masters, right? Masters, you were officially very good at the game. I think it's like 3... I think it's the 3rd percentile, or however it's calculated, I think. Top 3%.
Something like... I think it's 1, actually. And I think GM's 0.1.
Yeah, you might be right. Alright, there's what you're looking for, right? There's what you're looking for. Uh-oh, there's what you're looking for. Go for it. Go. Go, get him! Be decisive. Like, you see him, you're like, this guy's just free, right? 1 kill is worth it. 1 kill. Go.
Yeah.
Or, right? You know?
Yeah.
You know, be decisive. Like, I don't know what your Ana's doing. But yeah, I mean, what you did there was fine. It was just at that point in time, it was a little late.
Yeah. They had the time to turn around and just...
Right. Okay. Almost got him. And this is where you have to be really cautious, because this is like the Winston classic, okay? So you've used your burst of value. It got some value, didn't quite work out, unfortunate. Now you have downtime. Is it better right now to do nothing / set up for your next engage? Or is it better to help tickle the tank a little bit?
Yes, just wait.
Yeah. I don't think the answer there is always super black and white, though.
Yeah.
I think if this was like, you know, a little bit further away and you could like throw some right clicks at him, or, you know, maybe this guy was low, or like your team was full HP, maybe this is okay. Or it was just the Ramacha, right? Like there wasn't also a Reaper on your butt, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like, what do you do in your downtime? Do you either do something in your downtime? Or do you actually do nothing and invest it elsewhere? That's the real question. Very nice. Very nice. Clean, clean, clean. Everything aligns when you get on the back line. Everything feels good. I will say here, you're shooting the wrong target. Reaper, right?
Yeah.
Highest return on investment. Even if it's your counter, highest return on investment is that Reaper.
Yeah.
Everything comes about return on investment for your time. Like, right? Because your time as Winston is so unbelievably valuable.
Yeah.
I don't think there is a single tank in the game, not even Orisa with Fortify, that is as, you know, black or white when it comes to your time. So if you're not getting good value out of your attention, then it's, you know, okay, go, 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 go. Okay, that's fine. But do you notice how like just a little bit of indecisiveness and a little bit of early poke? This is what we were talking about early on in the review, right? Just a little too much damage, right? So like right here, how can we avoid the damage that you take? How do we do that? Because
just jump the Ana right now.
Being decisive with what we're looking for. So, well, okay. So why are we not jumping the Ana right now? So we know the issue, but we want to know why this is an issue. So we're indecisive. Okay. Why are we indecisive? Before the fight even starts, go ahead. Sorry.
It's either that I'm in this poor position, I'm on bot, which I don't know if I should be on Winston, if all my team's alive. Whereas I should be maybe like, I don't know, the right hand side flank's pretty strong. Mm-hmm. Should in theory have like tried to go that way, give me better access.
Could be, yeah. It's a good idea. My other question is we knew ahead of time what we were looking for, correct?
Yeah.
If you weren't thinking right now, I'm like, oh, I wonder where that Ana is. I'm gonna find that cast. I'm gonna force that Kiriko TP. Where's that Ana? Where's that cast? Where's that Kiriko? Where's that Ana? Where's that cast?
Right. Okay.
Like, you know, like it's a Gregorian chant in your brain. You know,
yeah.
As you're like, you know, thinking, where do I need to go to do that? What's the best position? Because like, if you think about that, then maybe you come to the conclusion that you were saying, which is maybe this flank is better. I wonder if you were thinking that. You know?
No, yeah, I wasn't. Yeah.
Probably not. Probably just kind of like chilling out. And that's why when we get to here, we see old man reaction speed, when actually it's really not reaction speed at all. It's just a lack of preparation. And that lack of preparation is going to cost us 40, 50, 80, 100, 150, 170 HP.
Yeah.
Right? And that's going to cost this. Right?
Yeah.
And that's it right there. Early bubble, careful jump, early primal because we don't have the HP, and so on. I mean, heck, even your right click, right? Could have been better here. So yeah, okay. Something that needs to be decisive with. You have the right ideas, but we don't have the habits yet to execute on those ideas very well, which is kind of what you were saying. You have the understanding here. It's what you said in your forum anyway. You just don't execute on it well. And what I would say, okay, so based off of what we said so far, what are the habits that you need to be practicing and building on between fight and as the fight is starting?
How can I avoid their tank to get on their squishies?
Sure.
Think about that pre-fight and plan out the best way to, or like a way I think is the best way to do it.
Correct. Because your positioning pre-fight is dictated off of that. That's because you're like, should I be on cart? Well, I don't know. Where are the squishies going to be? Use your brain.
Yeah.
You'll know where they're going to be back here, or they're going to be on the flank. So what's the best position for that? Well, I could start here. If there's squishies here, I could dive here. If they're not, then I'll use that and then I'll flank back. Like, you'll come up with a good answer. Now, it won't always be that easy, but you'll at least be on the right path to solve this problem as Winston. And ultimately, if you want to be, like we said, getting better and better and better against supports that are better and better and better at pre-poking you out, you're going to need to keep putting yourself through the rigmarole of thinking ahead of time, where do I want to be? Then you're like, well, self-VOD review, not so much. Well, you would maybe self-VOD review in a situation where it felt like I could not stage on their squishies and see if you can find a solution to that problem.
Yeah, I did watch your video about self-VOD review, and it was the first step that I really struggled with. now that I know, okay, am I setting myself up for success in this fight to get on a squishy is like a simple question that I can go through and answer.
Sure.
But it's when I watch it by myself, it's like, what do I need to improve on? I don't know. It's
Right.
everything.
No, I get that. I mean, that's ultimately like why I'm here, ultimately. But I think if nothing else, you have that question in the back of your brain, and here's a little hint for you: that question will never be fully answered. You'll never be perfect at that question. Doesn't matter if you get to Overwatch League or you drop all the way to bronze, right? That question will always be relevant. And especially as you get playing versus better and better players, that question might change a little bit, right? Because teams will take different positions, and they come up with a really creative off-thing, and you're like, I don't know what to do versus that, honestly. Well, figure it out, right? Do you want to look at a little bit of Reinhardt, or do you want to move on?
I can do, yeah. Bring my self-esteem back up.
I'm already liking that fire strike we had. I do think Reinhardt is quite good versus Ramacha, personally.
I've not found that. I found that when he can swing on me, I don't know, it might just be unlucky, or it might just be like like a mental bias that if we swing at each other, I die before he does.
Depends. So
it depends on what your DPS and supports are doing. So it might be that I'm not.
Right. And the difference between Ramacha and Reinhardt is that if you're both able to swing freely, then if you have to stop and shield, yes, he can punch through it, right? Which is frustrating. However, the problem with Ramacha is he's also completely vulnerable to any burst damage or CC thrown his way, and you are not. He cannot block nades. He cannot block sleep dart. He cannot block Hanzo. The best he could do is try to guess and preemptively block it, but it doesn't actually block it. He still takes it in the teeth, right? So it obviously there's a lot of factors to consider, but I think Ramacha versus Ryan, especially, he's also very vulnerable to getting shattered as well, is generally, I think, a slightly favorable trade, but your mileage may vary.
Yeah.
Okay. I like pushing up for my double fire strikes. That's going to be a lot like your Winston right click, where your mechanics at that is going to be very important, especially now that it's 100 damage.
Yeah.
Thank goodness. I didn't realize the implications of the 100 damage until I saw somebody hit a fire strike on a Riptire and it didn't break it.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like,
I have actually been there. It's very sad.
Nice shatter. Unfortunate. Okay, next fight. I think we played this one okay. Just kind of a little bit of a cart bot. We hit our fire strikes for the most part. Shatter was good too. And we'll have some more time on that. That fire strike was something else. But we'll have more time to look at another VOD as well if you'd like. I don't think I would do this, to be honest with you. Unless you hit this pen, this guy's not gonna die. So the best thing, you either need to quickly hit the pen and kill him, avoid him entirely, which is not going to work because he's on top of your team, or trade backlines.
Okay, so because we've got the Kiriko up,
well, even if
I'm able to...
Go ahead, sorry.
I was just more able to get on his backline. I thought that the best counter was just to try and kill him.
Well, you're not going to be able to kill him fast enough unless you hit the pen.
Okay, yeah.
At least not at the HP that he's at right now. So your best bet is either to make sure that you kill him quickly with pen and then beat the crap out of him quickly, which you can't even reach him right now, which is a huge problem. Or to at least make sure that these guys can't follow up / maybe kill one of them.
Yep.
The difference with Reinhardt and Winston is there's a lot more complexity with like who to focus, because there's more targets that you can kill than a Winston.
Yeah.
Getting slept twice in a row is not great though.
Yeah, I find that against an Ana, I need to keep it in mind constantly to block nade, block sleep, block nade, block sleep.
It's a skill matchup, because if you could block it, that's like 55% of Ana's value, and she's really upset if she can block it. But if you don't block it, then you're just giving free value.
Yeah, it's one of those that if the fight's going quite well and there's not a lot going on, I can keep it in mind. But as soon as it devolves into chaos, I get naded, I get slept, and I die.
Yes. Okay, so Winston here. What are your priorities, skills for Winston? Before we move on to another VOD, what are your priorities for Winston? What are some skills we need to build?
Pre-round staging to get me better access to their backline, or whoever I can kill or threaten to kill. and not getting sucked into zapping the tank mid-fight. Stop, reassess, and go on someone I can actually, trade resources with.
Do nothing and something. Okay, and then practice right-click.
Yes. I think I might go into a custom, or even deathmatch, and just get in the habit of charge right-click, jump, do the combo.
Works for me. Works for me. I would also put that as like a priority to put in just all of your ranked games as well, because it wasn't even like the mechanics were that bad. You just need to be in the habit, like your brain automatically always charges a right click before you dive. It's like it's right click, shift, if you want to do the melee cancel, there you go. Like that needs to be like clockwork. You just do that without even thinking, and that's going to take a little bit of practice. Okay, do you have another code that you want to look at?
I had another one that was Sigma, but we're going to avoid playing Sigma as much as possible.
Sure. I mean, unless you want to play Sigma, you can play Sigma, right? But then probably need to dump something else.
No, the Sigma was in the middle of Hog Doom meta, which I was forced off my mains.
Disaster.
Right. Let me have a quick look.
Sure.
History replays. I think this one is Monkey. We'll go with this one. I think it's Monkey.
Okay. So we will continue to revise and revitalize and maybe just review what we already talked about, because we already have at least a decent idea of what we're looking for, and now we'll see if it was just one game. And you could probably tell me, like, I'm not really thinking about staging near enough. I could just tell you right now, but this might not give us a little bit more insight. And heck, you could also treat this as like a self-review, right?
Yeah.
You know what we're looking for now. So what could you have done? Where could you have staged? Your on isn't spawn, but like right now, is this the best position for the targets and staging that you want to do? Let's ignore the fact that our Kiriko's dead. Let's ignore the fact that our on isn't spawn. Let's just treat this like a training exercise. Is this good, what you just did?
Yeah, I think I could have waited a bit longer for them to get closer, but I don't think this is bad per se.
I agree. I think in terms of just the raw staging and positioning, this is good. Like you said, the timing is a little bit early. We could have waited them for them to come a little bit closer. But yes, this is good. Okay, so then we can go ahead and move on to next fight.
Yep.
And this is fun. This is like this. If you want to do self-review, this is how I would do it. Just go zoom, 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 zoom. Okay, split off angle target. But as you're walking out of spawn, listen. Right, where do I go? I think they're on us in cart. Somebody's in cart. Oh, I hear soldier left. Let's go left. Right. Bam. Very good. And you don't even use your bubble. Brilliant. So even as you're walking out of spawn, you're thinking,
okay, can I hear them? Where are they? How do I get on them?
Right. Because obviously, like, you can't coach this. You just need to see soldier and just go, right? But you can anticipate and be listening and thinking, if there's a soldier on the flank, I'm gonna go. If there's an on the flank, if there's a kicker, where are those targets?
I think I do brain off back from spawn, so it probably is worth. Okay.
Sure. Just think ahead of time. Because this is great. This is really, really, really high value. The soldier's lost angle. I wouldn't stay here. So this is like the classic example of like, you've done your job, you've used your bubble, you've forced out the angle and TP and Suzu and heal station and soldier and everything. Should we continue to do things right now?
Yeah. Oh, there's that mega. I forgot about that mega.
Well, it's not just the mega, but also like actually, I think you have to go. Like,
okay,
we need to go.
Like, you think bubble breaks. I force TP. I force Suzu. Soldier's not on that dangerous angle. I can just leave now.
Yeah. And set up for next fight. You jump out and you think, okay, where do I go? Do I set up here again?
Yeah.
Flank around. Start thinking ahead of time, because you're not wasting time when you're doing nothing. You're investing it. But like right there, like you almost died because you greeted. That cost you nade. And honestly, you should be going in right now, but you can't, because you still need healed. Right? So it means you're slower in your next cycle too. Where's Hanzo? Where's Kiriko? Where's Anna? Okay, he's over there. Okay, no. They're out. Okay, listen. They're coming here. Like you could, I'm kind of like verbalizing your internal dialogue.
Yeah.
But we need to keep that going like during the downtime. Good. They're out. There's no follow-up for ball. Next fight, where should I be staging? Where are we gonna be fighting?
Yes, it should be that top right room.
Probably, exactly.
All the way back.
Exactly. Probably control this. Make sure nobody flanks through here. If they do, you fight them. If not, you then take this angle and you drop behind. This is something but this is the lowest value something that you can possibly do. And so then that allows their backline to do what right now?
To rotate into their good angles.
Right, right. And you can't do anything about it. Too early.
Too early.
Just a tad too early. But the idea was, but the idea was good though, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Do it again. All right, just do it again.
Yeah.
Just do it again, you know? Very good. I mean, it's a tight sightline map, right? So this works really well. I love the primal greed. Yeah. Look at the greed here. Oh, yes. Very nice. Very nice.
Oh, I hate Kiriko so much.
Okay, yeah. Almost good. Not bad, right? All right, come back for spawn. Okay, no. Okay, so where is that Ana gonna be? Where's that soldier gonna be? You know where the card's gonna be, pretty much, right? So we need to kind of we have a pretty good idea of where they're gonna be setting up. Oh, that soldier's overextended. If she's still there, he's still there. Can I get him? No, he's running out. Okay. Oh, there's there. I can't peek. Yeah, I've isolated him. Nice. Force him out. Was it worth the bubble? Probably, yeah. Don't peek. Next cover. You can heal me. Don't peek. Next jump. Yes. And he dies. Oh, and gets net. That's honestly not too bad. Could be cleaner here with some of your cover usage. So, like for example, when you're like even just peeking a little bit here, or like when you jump, always be jumping to cover, kind of like what you did here was really nice. But honestly, you can see like there's lots of good things here. Lots of good things.
Yeah.
So I know we were negative Nancy with your Winston, but obviously there's lots of good things too. All right. So you're thinking, right?
I am thinking. I am actually thinking right now, and you're about to see it.
Okay. Well, why are you thinking?
Because I don't want to go down that long hallway and let them just come to me.
Right.
I know that there's this flank.
I think you're thinking because this map is a little bit unfamiliar to you. Maybe I'm reading too much into it.
I think Colosseo's also unfamiliar.
Okay. Maybe
I think it's actually because I've seen your video on this and you'd show me the whole map and I know where all the runes and the routes are.
Oh, okay. Good. Well, yeah, but yeah.
So
absolutely.
I know that up here exists.
Yeah. Too early. Let him walk through, right? Let him walk in. Because how do we know it's too early? How do we know?
They're already looking at me.
Right. And why are they already looking at you? 3,
because I've jumped
2,
down in front of them.
1. You see?
Oh, okay, right.
This is why it's too early. Because even if they all look at you, if your team can shoot them, then they will blow them up. They will die immediately for focusing you.
Right, yeah.
But your team can't help you here. So then wait for them at least to kind of cross out to here, and then, oh, you see what I see?
Yeah.
It's not great, but it's something. This is why it's too early. Now this is... And that's why it doesn't work. Now the irony here is that your Cassidy comes with you, and that's how we get the kill. But just food for thought.
Yeah. You're right.
Same problem, right? Now this one, at least we've got a little bit of a peak here, right? So maybe this works because they weren't looking at you, right? Why weren't they looking at you? Because they were looking at your team. Ooh. Do it again. A little bit of body block there. I like it. Nice. Really good, right? Perfect time. And why?
Yep.
Why? Well, because Soldier was actually starting to take that angle. He wanted to fight. Nope.
Yeah.
And look at their positioning and look at your team. You see it? There is something going on right now. And this is brilliantly done.
So in these kind of scenarios, it should be opposite to what I kind of want. That I'm not initiating the fight. I'm waiting for them to initiate and sort of like, trading their backline.
No, you are initiating it, but there isn't a possible way where your team over here can possibly help you all the way over here.
Okay, so go as soon as possible if I can get help from my team. If my team are in good positions.
Right. You go, oh, they can follow up off of my aggression, so I will go now. Right?
Okay.
That's just what being a leader is. If you wake up at like 3 a.m. every morning and and there ain't anybody to yell commands to, then what's the point of waking up at 3 a.m. every morning? It's you're only as good as the team around you, and if you are going in when your team isn't anywhere near where you are and they can't help or do anything, then what's the point?
Yeah.
Just a little bit of bubble greed. I mean, I respect your bubble greed though. I would rather have you doing that than just using bubble off of cooldown, because it definitely feels like do I need a bubble? Do I need a bubble? And I think that's a really good skill to have. So I'm not gonna flame you for it.
Mm-hmm. It does get me killed sometimes.
It will, right? But you're limit testing, right? So that's how we learn. That's how we improve. This is great. Yeah. This is perfect. Like how come your Hanzo gets kills? How?
Because no one's looking at him.
Right.
Yeah.
It's all you. You set him up. You set him up for, that's what tanking is, right? You set him up for success. So that was good. Brilliant. Brilliant. Let's keep going. Yeah, we're thinking. But again, you kind of like, okay, we're here, so we can fight here, or we can fight here, or we can fight here, probably at this choke, or if anybody comes up here, we can fight, right? Just know where your team can see. This only works. Why? Because this is not a bad play.
Because he chose the flank.
Right. Well, also, where's his help?
Oh, yeah.
It's a 1v1. You could take a 1v1 anywhere on the map that you want. It doesn't matter. If it's a 1v1, I don't care if it's in their spawn. Take the 1v1. We're concerned about when it becomes a 2v1 or a 3v1, and it's not a 2v2 or a 3v3 or a 4v4, right? That's it.
Yeah.
So this is good. Boink. Poor guy. Yes. Very, very winnable fight still. Oh, the ball moved me out of it. That's okay. Still full value. Nice. Kiriko's out. That's going to force TP. There's an nano on the Hanzo. Can we survive? Ah! Very well done. Nicely done. This is really good. I love the angles that we were taking. I love the flanks that we were taking. This is such a cool spot. I never even honestly thought about using this for Winston. So kudos to you. But yeah, this was really, really well executed. It just felt like we were a little more engaged with when and how to set up. And obviously the results speak for themselves, right? Even though you weren't perfect with your timing, even though there were some mechanical errors and maybe a little bit of greed when our bubble was down, maybe a little bit of greed when our bubble was up, right? But it's not a surprise that this felt so good. You hard carried many fights. So what were the things that you were doing well in contrast to Coliseo?
Yeah, it was being able to get on the backline without getting poked out.
Right.
Which is kind of like Winston 101.
Right. And how was that able to happen? Why did that happen?
By thinking about my position before the fight started.
It's all investment. You invested your time wisely, right? There wasn't any big mechanical gaps here. It wasn't like you were, got your fearless primal mechanics out there, like juggling people and one-shotting them. But you actually invested your time well. So every engage that you had was high quality, high value, forcing nanos, forcing cooldowns, Suzus and TPs and nades and sleeps, and then still getting kills, right? This was really quite excellent. I will still say that numerous times we didn't put a lot of priority on it, but you could probably go through this VOD again and you would find many opportunities where right click value was missed. Just something that is the reason why I emphasize that so much is because it is a part of your Winston for almost every dive, pretty much. Yeah. So you might as well start practicing it now.
It's free as well.
It's free. It's as close to free as you can get.
Oh, using bubble better, but I'm already using it. I'm just not using right click, which is just free.
Right. It's just free. It's 50 full damage. You get that with a landing combo. I think you're close to almost 150 damage with zaps. So you right click.
But I do get it sometimes. For example, if I'm on like a high ground that they can't poke me out, I can sit there and just spam right clicks at people, and I'm essentially like a tracer poking there, and they can't do anything because I've got 600 health.
Right. But what we're looking for is actually using this part as a dive combo.
Yeah.
It's going to add that extra 33% or whatever of that dive combo. The shoot, then zap, then land, and then zap again. That's going to be super high value. Do you have any questions for anything that we talked about?
No, I think that's covered everything, and that's a nice distilled one or two things to work on, which is exactly what I was looking for.
Okay, perfect. Now, here's what I will say is the nice thing about the two things that we gave you with Winston is that's going to carry over very nicely to Reinhardt as well. The pre-fight, thinking about staging position to access targets in favorable 1v1s, that applies to Ryan too, right? It's a little bit more nuanced than that. But if you're thinking about, I'm playing into double sniper, if I just sit on cart, you're gonna have a hard time, right? You need to actually try and close the distance on these guys. So what's the best corner? What's the best high ground? Is there an angle that I can control or a corner I can hold? Think about that ahead of time. Rinse and repeat. And then in terms of the right clicks, for you, it's not so much as the right clicks and fire strikes mechanically so much as are you really putting enough emphasis on like really aiming your fire strikes perfectly. Maybe that's something that we could work at a little bit. It's not exactly the same comparison, but it's something to consider. Okay, no questions?
No, I think that covers everything.
Okay. Well, we ended a few minutes early, so what I want you to do is, have you heard me talk about the replay code rule before?
I don't think so, no.
Okay, so you have a VOD review, obviously, so then you get a